Hello guys, this is Hexagon Zero, and welcome back to another Multiplayer Monday. I've got some Zavod 311 footage here for you, and yes, I am flying a helicopter. This is not how I normally fly a helicopter. I just gotten killed by these guys on the roof here, so I'm trying to roadkill them, and I fail spectacularly by missing. I eject, accidentally kill my co-pilot, but whatever, you know, it's Battlefield, that kind of thing happens. Anyway, tomorrow, actually in about 2 hours, is the release of Dragon's Teeth DLC, and it's actually, well, it's only released for the premium members because you get 2-week access and stuff like that. So today I thought it was about time, and we'll talk about Dragon's Teeth a little bit later, but today I thought it was about time I started going through some of the older assignments. And I've been working on this one for a while, but I finally unlocked the L85A2? A1? I don't know. It's the L85, essentially. And so yeah, that's the gun I primarily use in this footage. But anyway, Dragon's Teeth. They are adding... yeah, let me just pull it up. 4 urban maps. Sunken Dragon, Propaganda, Pearl Market, and Penny Garden? These 4 all-new maps are designed for urban combat among modern high-rises, pristine parks, bustling alleyways, and floating restaurant on grey concrete. Well, what that sounds like to me is that they're going to be designed for the new game mode Chain Link, obviously, because that's what Naval Strike was like, so... yeah, but it sounds like it's going to be more close quarters, and the way weapons are currently geared in Battlefield is to be more close quarters. That sounds awesome, because weapons in Battlefield, especially right now, like especially sniper rifles, the drop-off ratio for bullet drop is insane. Like, if you think about real-world applications, of course, obviously you can't make sniper rifles shoot the distance they can in real-world applications in worlds like this, especially with this many players, because it would simply be too much lag. At least we can't do it yet in our current technology. And I don't know how I didn't see those guys, because I must have parachuted in, but I don't remember hearing or seeing the helicopter. But oh well. Yeah, so it sounds like they're going to be more close quarters, and that's going to be great, because we will no longer have to farm flood zone alleyways, Operation Locker, and Operation Metro to level up close quarters guns. And that will be awesome. And it also sounds, it says gray concrete. Gray is used an impressive amount in Battlefield, especially in Battlefield 4. And it's a little bit annoying because Siege of Shanghai, all that is gray with reflective mapping. And there's the gray buildings, gray concrete, gray walls, gray everything, and then the reflective mapping is just the windows. I mean, the only color change you really have are the signs and the water. So, like an urban camo for your gun and for your character on that map is almost invaluable. Like a flat urban camo. It's amazing. But the character camos are slightly harder to get in battle packs than weapon camos. So, yeah. Anyway, the new game mode, Chain Link, it introduces the new Chain Link game mode that brings another layer of depth and strategy to the multiplayer mayhem. Act fast and link together, capture points to secure the win. This sounds like Conquest, except it has to be done in order. Now, at least I haven't seen any footage of Chain Link, so I'm not sure how it sounds, but to me it's going to be like a giant line of objectives. A through G, for example, and then both teams push up, like imagine Metro, and then just imagine more objectives positioned throughout on the inside. You have to push up, continuously capturing them, and then eventually there's going to be a choke point in the middle. Not a choke point, it's just going to be two forces hitting each other in the middle, and then it's going to be kind of a push-pull fight between the two as they, you know, engage and try and capture more points. That's what it sounds like to me initially. If I was to take another stab at it, it might be 2 completely separate lines, like ABC, and then the other side is ABC, and you kind of have to capture your own objectives while resisting the enemy of getting their objective. And now that sounds fun, but I can see it being problematic if it isn't as tight or as complicated to get to the next objective. Like, if you were to have a giant box and then you just light out 2 lines in the middle, like an equals, like 11, you just write down 11, so it's 2 lines. That's too easy. If you were to have it like just randomly scattered dots throughout the map and the objectives have to be captured in order, then you can predict where the enemy's going, and then you can also predict where they can predict where you're going to be going too. So that sounds fun too. But if it is just like 11 or an equal sign, depending on how you're looking at the map, it's going to be way too easy, because I can see just some people rushing the enemy and just camping one objective, because if they take A, all you've got to do is camp B, because they can't ninja cap C from out under you. They're stuck. So I can see that happening, and I'd imagine the game mode would have a ticket limit for both sides. Yeah, again, like Conquest, but I mean, it could also be not ticket limit, and it's just infinite on both sides, and it's just whoever gets the chain link. And of course, certain servers can change that. So yeah, sounds interesting. I'll be excited to see what it looks like on the end. And then I'm just looking at their highlights page here. I'll pull up something that's more in depth, but it says also the RAR. The DLC's called Dragon's Teeth, and the RAR. It's an acronym for ARWR. I don't know what it stands for. But among the new gadgets in Dragon's Teeth is the RAR, a controllable unmanned ground vehicle armed with a machine gun and a grenade launcher. Essentially, it's Wall-E with weapons. So, this sounds like an upgraded EOD bot. Yeah, it's an EOD bot with a machine gun and a grenade launcher. And I'd imagine it probably have about the same strength as underslung grenade launchers. So, yeah. It sounds interesting. I can see a lot of people trolling with it. The EOD bot is supposed to be meant as an anti-vehicle distance thing that doesn't put you directly in the line of fire, but I guess it could be. And then the EOD bot is actually a lot used. It's used a lot for getting rid of snipers, getting a look around corners sometimes. I know some people who do that on Metro, just kind of peek around a corner. And it's also used a lot in Rush, because little known fact is that you can capture, well, at least you can arm Rush objectives or disarm them with the EOD bot. And a lot of people don't notice the EOD bot, because all it is tire treads and then a skinny little arm. And a lot of people don't notice the skinny little arm. So, yeah. Because they're just too desperate to disarm the MCOM. So yeah, that's what it says on the highlight page. Let me find something a little bit more in depth. Oh yeah, there's 5 new weapons. I believe one's called the MX5. I don't know. It's a PDW, and it's I imagine it's going to be like similar to the. I mean, I have access to the CTE server, so I could actually go try it out, but I haven't really gotten around to it lately. I've been kind of busy. So yeah, I'd imagine it fires us quite similar to the SJ-2, maybe with a little bit of PDWR thrown in there. What else? Oh yeah, there's the CS5, which is in real life it's a sniper rifle that's designed for versatility. It can be modified as short range or long range, and I don't think you're going to be able to do that in the DLC. But I don't know, we'll just wait and see. And so yeah, that sounds good. That's the sniper rifle. There is 2 new pistols being added: the Unica 6 and the Desert Eagle .44. This is a Desert Eagle essentially. The Deagle. And I have tried out the Deagle in the CTE servers when I did sign on for maybe essentially 1 game, and kind of screwed around with the weapons, mostly the Bulldog, but I'll get to that later. And the Unica 6 is a revolver. I didn't actually use the Unica 6, but it's a revolver. I'm not sure if there's delay on it, like in the Magnum or the what's the other one? The Snub. It's a shorter revolver. Yeah, but it might fire like the SW40, completely no delay between the hammer and at least no delay between you clicking the mouse button and the hammer hitting the bullet and firing and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be I think that's how it fires. And then the Desert Eagle is a 9-round pistol, I want to say. That is incredibly powerful. It will kill in 2 shots at almost any range. I say almost any range because honestly it gets a little ridiculous, and I believe there's a 3x sight on it too. So, you know, there's probably going to be a couple Desert Eagle sniping videos in the future from other YouTubers. Not me. Personally, I don't find the appeal of the Desert Eagle that, well, appealing. Because it's, I can barely aim to begin with, and if you give me less rounds, I'm just going to miss more, so... Actually, I'm going to miss less, but I'm just going to not hit anything in total. And also, the recoil on it, your character has to hold it with 2 hands. It's got one hand on the grip, and the other hand comes up to reinforce. So, that gives you a little bit of an idea about the recoil. It's not really meant to be spammed, but it can be. I've seen some people counter the recoil quite effectively. Notably, Chaboy and so, what else? There were 5 new weapons. Oh, of course, the Bulldog. The Bulldog is, it's been reviewed as, and I've played with it too, it's essentially a Scar H with a slightly higher fire rate and a tad bit more recoil. Or less. I forget on that one, actually. But it's, it's gonna be a lot like the AWS was in Naval Strike. It's gonna be incredibly overpowered, everyone's gonna be using it. And it's so easy to unlock. Like on PC right now, I can see what the assignment to unlock it is like, and it's so easy. It's kill 10 support players while on foot, kill 10 engineers while on foot, and kill 10 recons while on foot. I can do that in maybe 2 games. Easy. Or you have to be playing as assault class up and using an assault rifle. I believe you have to use an assault rifle, but if you're playing as the assault class, you might as well use an assault rifle. So, yeah, it's super easy to unlock. And another curious thing I actually saw, because the Desert Eagle is kind of it's something that's revered in first-person shooters as an incredibly powerful pistol, despite the fact in real life it's absolute garbage, but it's incredibly powerful. So, to unlock it, you have to first unlock the Unica 6, which is a pretty odd assignment. It's like get something kills in the support ribbons, and then you have to get 10, maybe 6 headshots. And then there's the Desert Eagle assignment, but one of the prerequisites is that you have to have the Unica 6 unlocked, which I found kind of interesting. And maybe they're paying a little bit of homage to the reverence of the Desert Eagle. Yeah, and so the Bulldog is probably going to be my most favorite weapon because I love the Scar H, and yeah, and I just need to learn how to manage the recoil because that's my major problem. And then actually aiming. Aiming is a good thing when using... It doesn't have a... I don't think it has a slightly higher clip capacity. So, firing and reloading with it is going to be a bit of a problem. And it might have a faster reload speed too. I actually need to look this up, but oh well, you guys can go look it up for yourself. Along with new guns, there's also another gadget, the ballistic shield, and I believe it's going to operate directly similar to how it operates in Battlefield Hardline. You can wear it on your back, it gives you back protection when it's on your back. You can bring it out the front, there's going to be a window, you can bash people with it. Yeah. 10 new assignments, so there's other assignments for dog tags, and the Phantom, whatever that is. I got the Phantom Recruit and that one, and I'm still trying to figure out the Naval Strike one. I know what it is, but I'm just trying to do it, and it's really hard to do because it doesn't tell you what it is. And then once you figure it out what it is, because you could just Google it, and then once you figure out what it is, they're usually really hard. And there's going to be another one too, so that'll be interesting. And drain lake opening. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of new Levolution stuff. On one of the maps is there's a water tower that falls down after you close flood shutters. So what it looks like essentially is that you hit a button and flood shutters close. So they stop letting water through. So the pipes begin to burst, and eventually the water tower that was that I'm guessing is the reservoir. I might be mixing up the revolutions because you know how Battlefield 4 trailers are like. They're kind of jumping all over the place in between maps, but so it might be the external reservoir for whatever river or lake or whatever is being held back. And so that begins to burst, and then there's a whole bunch of water that falls down on the map from a hill, and then of course there's the water tower falling with it, and that looks really cool. Essentially, it's a lot of focus on water damage and falling and shutters and stuff exploding. There's one that's you detonate one of those timer boxes and a bridge explodes that had a train on it, and that sounds cool too. And they're having another map with a train on it. We don't just have Gulmund Railway again. Yeah, it's probably going to be the same train, or they might slightly change the numbering on the side, but it's going to be the same mechanic, probably that slow too. So, yeah. Just looking out here for some more stuff. Yep, Desert Eagle, Unica. Yeah, Desert Eagle 44, Unica CS5, MPX, not the MP5. Bulldog, Ballistic Shield. Oh! The RAR is a battle pickup. So it's going to be like a HVM-11 rocket launcher. Or the M32 MGL, or the M82A3. So yeah, that's going to be cool. And it's probably going to be a little bit tougher then, because it's only going to respawn every once in a while. They've got a link to the chain mode gameplay here. Yeah, variant of conquest, which link adjacent capture points, which causes the opponent's team's tickets to bleed quicker. Yeah, it's essentially conquest. So that sounds interesting. I wish they release it. Maybe the last DLC they release, at least the last DLC that they're gonna release, that's scheduled. I think it should have like all the most popular game modes from Battlefield 3 just reintroduced in new maps. So. Yeah. What else can I look up here? Lumpini Garden? 142-acre park in Bangkok, Thailand. The main evolution event is the mudslide that can sweep away and kill players, as well as transforming appearance of the map. Pearl Market features combat in narrow streets and on flat rooftops. It does not mention anything about Levolution. Propaganda is... map is set in Pyongyang, North Korea. This is the one with the train. So yeah, no mention of Levolution. And then Sunken Dragon, which is main floodgates as its Levolution event, allowing players to open them and subsequently flood the map in a manner similar to Flood Zone. And to me it sounds like it could be reversible. So like you could open the gates and flood the map, and then close them and not flood the map. Of course, there'd have to be delay between the two, but, you know. It's something they could do. It would be very interesting, but I don't think they're going to do that, actually. Most Levolutions only happen once. You can't just repeatedly spam the button. As it were. Although, in Firestorm, you can spam the button on the tower, and it will continually vent flames and oil and stuff, and that will be interesting. Let's see if I can look up anything else. No, I think I've pretty much covered everything. Yep, that's it. So it's going to be an exciting DLC. It's going to be a bit more close range, give some players a bit more what they have been looking for. Yeah, there's not really much else to say on it. Dragon's Teeth is, it's kind of like the calm before the storm of the last DLC to be released in Battlefield 4. At least they have scheduled now, because the release schedule they have now puts it at summer, like in the very end of summers when the last DLC will be released, I think, or maybe it's fall. I don't know, somewhere in there. And Battlefield 3 had DLCs all the way up till essentially the launch of Battlefield 4. So I don't think they're going to be slowing down on the DLCs anytime soon. Well, obviously they're going to be slowing down, but they're not going to have as... they're not going to completely stop, essentially. So, yeah. That will be cool. But what I really like, and there's one of the commercials for one of the DLCs. It shows Dragon's Teeth, and then it shows the last DLC, and I forget the name. The name is escaping me right now, but it has something that someone fired out of a launcher, and it looks like it has machine guns strapped to the side, and it starts firing in all directions, and it looks like it has like an explosive tip. So it could be something used to clear out hallways. And obviously, it's not going to be something that the engineers can just strap to the back, because that just sounds like it sounds like a one-shot wonder. It sounds like a battlefield pickup. A battle pickup. Sorry, not a battlefield pickup. Well, I guess you could call it that. Anyway, so yeah, that introducing that on Metro when you get stuck in below the Metro near the trains, and then the center hallway with the lockers. And that long service hallway, that if the enemy team is completely all-capped, the enemy team, and if the enemy team is completely all-capped you and you're stuck in your spawn back there, I imagine firing that down that hallway would yield a lot of kills. But I don't think they're gonna... That's something else that I kind of want to talk about too, is that they don't introduce a lot of the new stuff that they add into the older maps. Well, not the older maps, like the maps that we already have, like Siege of Shanghai, or stuff like that. And I think that would be kind of cool if they did, but they don't, which I think is somewhat disappointing. But yeah, then again, if you're always changing everything, it's not exactly the best. Consistency. Yeah, should prove to be interesting. Anyway, the L85A, yeah, L85A2. I was really good. I really liked it in Battlefield 3, and I really like it in Battlefield 4. It's a really good weapon. Solid. Just work towards that reflex sight as quickly as you can, because the iron sights in this weapon suck. They suck major balls. And with the reflex sight, it's much easier to correct for recoil, and so, yeah. That is interesting. Anyway, we're about at the end of the video here, as you can see. I can't believe I managed to fit 22 minutes of Dragon Sea talk in there, but I did. And yeah, and also this week, we're going to be back on track for scheduling as I got my computer working again. And so yeah, I would like to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, favorite, subscribe, comment, and all of that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. This is the Hexagon Zero, signing out.